All right, 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, and welcome to this video. So in today's video, I am going to be testing waterproof drugstore makeup. So most of the makeup that I use is actually waterproof makeup, but there's a couple products thrown in there that are just kind of long wear products that I feel like should be able to stand up to sweat and heat and water. So I've seen this video kind of going around recently. I saw Kathleen Lights do this video, and a lot of you guys requested that I do the same thing. So I am going to be putting this waterproof drugstore makeup to the test for you guys, and I'm going to do it in two ways. So the first thing I'm going to do is go for a run and get really hot and sweaty, which should not be hard in 90-degree heat, and see how the makeup wears, because I know some of you guys are interested in sweatproof makeup because maybe you're going to Disney World or somewhere where you know you're going to be really sweaty and you want to know what makeup products you can trust in a really hot environment. And the other way I'm going to test it is by submerging my face in water, because I know others of you are interested in whether or not it's actually waterproof, because maybe you're looking for a good drugstore waterproof mascara to wear to the pool, or you're going to something more like a water park where you know you're going to get really wet. So I'm going to start out by applying all the different makeup, showing you the makeup that I'm wearing, and then I'm going to do those two different tests and we will see how everything lasts. So if you are interested in seeing what drugstore waterproof makeup is actually waterproof, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with foundation. Even though this isn't called a waterproof foundation, it's supposed to last pretty much through anything, so we're going to really test that. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour wear foundation, and I have mine in the shade 200, which is soft beige. It says that it has perfect coverage that lasts all day, sweat, heat, humidity, and transfer proof for up to 25 hours. So it's supposed to pretty much last through anything, so we're gonna put it to the test, and I'm gonna be applying it using the ULTA sponge I talked about in my last video. I love this sponge. This shade is a little late for me during the summer, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, for concealer, I'm gonna be using the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer, and this is a waterproof concealer. It says it right here on the packaging, and I have mine in the shade medium. And this concealer is pretty thick in consistency. It does have coconut oil in it, so this would be a good one for dry skin. But I'm interested to see how this is going to last on my oily skin, because it is kind of a more dewy concealer, but it does claim to be waterproof, so we shall see. And this shade is actually a little bit too dark for me, so I may need to lighten it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna lighten it up just a little bit with this Ulta Beauty concealer I just talked about. This is a waterproof concealer as well. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this to lighten up my under eyes, because that concealer is pretty much the same color as my foundation. And I'm just going back over everything with the Ulta sponge, because I wanna make sure it's all nice and blended and pushed into my skin so it lasts as long as possible. And then for powder, I'm going to be using this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Powder. This claims to last for 16 hours. I had trouble finding a waterproof powder, but I feel like a 16-hour wear powder is pretty much the same thing. So I'm going to set everything with this, and I'm using my Wet n Wild powder brush to apply it. Okay, and then for brows, I'm going to be using this NYX Tame and Frame Brow Pomade in the shade Espresso. Ooh, I don't think I meant to get Espresso. This is actually the first time I'm ever using this, and I meant to get the shade Brunette. This must have been in the wrong spot, so we'll see how this works. I feel like this isn't too bad. This shade might work. And this is the e.l.f. small angled brush that I'm using to apply it. Okay, now for the eyes, I'm going to use this Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Chrome. This is in the shade Khaki Cool, and I'm just gonna kind of do a wash of this all over my lid, nothing too fancy. I'm just gonna use my finger to blend it out. And then right on top of that, I'm gonna be using this Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Barely Branded, because now I'm regretting the green because of the lip color that I chose, so I need to tame it down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish up the face using this Rimmel Natural Bronzer. This is a waterproof bronzing powder in the shade Sunlight. And I'm going to use it on that same Wet n Wild powder brush that I used to apply the powder. And I'm also going to take some of that same bronzer on this Wet n Wild crease brush and take this through my crease. And now I'm going to take this Essence Gel Eyeliner. This is also waterproof, and line my upper lash line. And this is in the shade Cocoa Bean. It's a nice deep brown. I'm also going to take just a little bit of that same Essence eyeliner underneath my lower lash line. And now for mascara, I'm going to be using this Lash Paradise Voluminous mascara that I love so much, and this is the waterproof version. I'm just going to really coat my lashes with this. Okay, generous coats of mascara applied, and now I'm going to apply this NYX Full Throttle lipstick. This is in the shade 4, and this is a waterproof lipstick. Okay, generous coating of the lipstick on, and just to top it all off, I'm going to use this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. This doesn't claim to be waterproof. This isn't really part of the testing waterproof makeup. This is just really really out of curiosity. I just want to see how it lasts. So I'm going to apply this on the tops of my cheekbones, some in my inner corners. It is currently 89 degrees. So the first thing I'm going to do is go for a run and get super sweaty, see if I can sweat this makeup off, and then after that I'm going to do the water test. Okay, so I'm about to go leave for my run, as you can see from my workout clothes. Before I do, I realized I didn't give you guys an up close. So this is the before, so you guys have something to compare it to. Hey guys, so I just got back and I'm sweating. It is so hot outside. I don't exercise much, so I'm very winded. But we just went for about an hour and a half. We went walking through this hiking trail we have right near our house, and it is 90 degrees outside and it feels like 100 in the sun. So I was definitely that girl walking around with bright red lipstick on in a hiking trail, and of course today it was super crowded and everyone was looking at me. But I wanted to show you guys a close-up of how everything looks after about an hour and a half in the hot sun. I would say the only thing starting to break down right now is my foundation. So if you guys can see my sweat kind of coming through, as well as some oil. And it's definitely starting to cake up right here around my nose. Look pretty cakey and pretty oily, and it really has not been long enough for me to start getting oily, so I know this is the sweat. But my mascara isn't running at all. Everything else, the bronzer, even the highlight, everything's still looking really intact. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the water test now and see how it holds up now that it's already broken down a little bit with my sweat. See how it holds up with the water. Hey guys, so we are now in my shower. I hope the echo isn't too terrible, but we are going to get this makeup as wet as possible. I'm gonna have to squat to be in frame. The water is running behind me. I hope you guys can see it, but you'll see it when it hits my face. So let's go ahead and test out this waterproof makeup. Here we go. Okay, so that's after running under the shower once, so let's do it again. Alright, that's dunk number 2, and I'm gonna go back to my room to finish the rest of the test. Hey guys, so I just ran my makeup underneath the shower twice, and this is how we're looking. I think everything looks really good. I'll give you guys a close-up. Again, I think the foundation is really the only thing that's breaking down a little bit, and even that isn't bad. I also think that the brows don't look as good because they're wet, so they're not kind of combed up, but at the same time, the product that I do have in them is still holding up, so I can't say that product isn't waterproof. I just probably needed to set it with something to make sure that they were brushed the way that they should be. But for the last part of the test, I'm going to completely submerge my face into a bowl of water, because the shower is just kind of drizzling on my face. It's not like a full submersion of water, and I don't have a pool, unfortunately, in my neighborhood, so we are going to make do. So here is the bowl. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay in shot the whole time, but I will try. All right, 1, 2, 3. Whew. I cannot hold my breath for very long. I'm gonna do it again. All right, one more time. So it's still looking really good, so I'm gonna dunk a few more times and see if I can mess anything up. Okay, so I just dunked my head about 10 times, and this was actually a really good plan because this feels really good after that run. But I'm overall really impressed. Let me give you guys another close-up. So I see the foundation kind of settling into my laugh lines here, and it still looks cakey around my nose like it did when I got back from the run. My eye makeup still looks pretty much intact. This color tattoo has not budged. I do see a tiny bit of product right underneath my brow and right here underneath my lower lashes. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that. So it looks like the mascara smudged just barely, but overall I think it looks really, really good. I think the lipstick still looks really good. I'm impressed with this highlighter, how well the highlighter has stayed intact, even though that's not waterproof or long wearing. But yeah, I think everything's looking pretty good considering I went for a run. It was like a run walk in about 90-degree heat, ran my face under the shower, and dunked my face. So overall, I think most of these are actually waterproof. So that completes this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and click that subscribe button, and let me know what products you think wore the best and what you think maybe broke down from the close-ups. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.